Welcome to Books in Sum, your go-to for bite-sized book summaries.
12 Steps to a Compassionate Life by Karen Armstrong. The 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous has helped many people with substance abuse problems to get a grip on their life. These book bites take the successful practice of the 12-step program and apply it to an altogether different sphere: compassion. Compassion is our natural ability to put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. It comes from the Latin word patire, which means to suffer, undergo, or experience. In practice, compassion can be summed up by the golden rule, which nearly all faiths share. It was this principle that motivated philanthropists such as the founder of modern nursing, Florence Nightingale, to action and inspired Martin Luther King Jr. to fight against the oppression of his fellow African Americans and lead the civil rights movement. Compassion, as well as its nemesis, selfishness, are hardwired into our brains and must come from somewhere. The author compiled her research on compassion into an easily followable program that seeks to make compassion take the place of egotism, prejudices, violence, and self-righteousness. The 12 steps to a compassionate life include learning about the myths found in traditions such as Buddhism, Confucianism, and Greek philosophical rationalism, forming reading and discussion groups, and refocusing the mind and creating distance between your reflective, compassionate self and your selfish, potentially destructive instinct. The author's program includes 12 steps, each of which embodies a new discipline that builds upon the one before it. These steps must become an integral part of your life in order for the program to work. The transformation will be slow and incremental, not something that happens at the snap of your fingers. The most important details in this book are the 3 steps to becoming a compassionate person: taking a compassionate look at your own world, practicing compassion toward yourself, and putting yourself in others' shoes. The first step is to look to the past for wisdom about compassion, while the second step is to view our own community with compassion in mind. The third step is to practice compassion toward ourselves, as our compassion for others depends upon our compassion for ourselves. Finally, the fourth step is to open our hearts to the suffering of others as though it were our own. All major religious traditions consider suffering to be an integral part of the path to enlightenment. The ancient Greeks brought these symbols into the public with their dramas, which aimed to help the audience understand that they weren't alone in their pain. The famous tragedy of Oedipus evokes our empathy despite the fact that he kills his father and marries his mother. The fifth step to a compassionate life is to practice mindfulness, which is a meditation technique designed to help us live more fully in the present and foster a greater awareness of the fleeting nature of our emotions. The sixth step is to make time for small acts of kindness, such as giving an elderly relative a phone call or listening to a colleague vent about their frustrations. Finally, the seventh step is to recognize and let go of negative thoughts and feelings. The seventh step to increasing compassion in interactions with others is realizing how little you know about other people. This realization can help us be more aware of the mystery of all those we encounter and allow ourselves to step into another perspective. The eighth step is to develop friendly discourse, which involves listening intently and sympathetically to our conversation partner's ideas. The ninth step is about transcending this group and being concerned for everybody, which once enabled the human race to survive in harsh circumstances. These small acts can have a lasting positive impact on other people's lives. The seventh step to a compassionate life is to recognize our limited viewpoint and the legitimacy of outsiders' perspectives. The eighth step is to expand our knowledge and find our own personal mission. The ninth step is to fill the gaps in our knowledge by seeking out media that challenges our point of view. The 10th step is to study Islamic history from a variety of sources in order to learn as much about it as possible. The 11th step is to seek out that moment of recognition when we see our own pain and that of someone else, and realize how we can make a difference in the world. The 12th step is to love your enemy, as tribalism has long been essential to human survival. The 12th and final step toward a compassionate life is to develop a sense of compassion for our enemy. To do this, we must realize how little we know about them and fill in the knowledge gaps with a thorough and unbiased investigation of their histories. We must also question the motivations of their actions in order to identify the suffering that underlies their story and ask whether we share responsibility for their pain. The kind of compassion we're looking for is the kind that brings together Israelis and Palestinians, or Indians and Pakistanis. Compassion is an intrinsic trait that we all share, and by following this step-by-step system, we can imbue our life and outlook with a healthy dose of compassion and help transform the world into a better place. The most important principle is to listen to our enemy's story without interruption, denunciation, or doubt, and to really understand and share his suffering until we have transformed our animosity into compassion. Actionable advice is to ask yourself why someone is behaving in this way and to gain insight into their lives and their personal suffering.
We hope you found this summary helpful in your listening journey. If you're interested in diving deeper into the topic or getting your hands on the whole book, be sure to check the description below where we've included links to the book and other related products that may be useful to you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our latest book summaries, and feel free to leave a comment with any suggestions or requests for books you'd like us to cover. Thanks again for tuning in and happy listening.